As the Straw Hats' beloved shipwright and the man responsible for the creation of their current vessel the Thousand Sunny, Franky has remained one of the series' breakout characters since his introduction during the Water 7 saga of Eiichiro Oda's One Piece. Beyond his role in repairing and upgrading the ship of the future Pirate King, Franky is also a powerful cyborg and among one of the crew's strongest combatants by virtue of the immense firepower contained within his heavily modified body. From power-packed punches, gun barrel knuckles, and air cannons, to his now iconic radical beam attacks, this cola-powered half-man, half-machine is a no-joke when it comes to a fight, and always manages to take down his opponents with degree of flair that matches his flamboyant persona. By virtue of spending 2 years on Karakuri Island in Paradise during the time skip, Franky became well acquainted with the work of Dr. Vegapunk, the world government's foremost scientist, said to be the smartest man in the world. Now, in the latest arc of One Piece, which covers the Straw Hats' visit to Egghead Island, Vegapunk's current base of operations, the likelihood of the genius scientist setting sail with them in order to escape the clutches of CP0 and the Marines sets the stage Franky's own skills to undergo a major upgrade under Vegapunk's tutelage. In this vein, a host of new possibilities have opened up for the Straw Hats' beloved shipwright as he continues to see out his dream of circumnavigating the world aboard the Thousand Sunny. Face to face with his idol, on crash landing on Karakuri Island due to Bartholomew Kuma's intervention during the events of the Sabodi Archipelago arc, Franky found his way to Vegapunk's former home from his youth in the future country of Baltimore, inadvertently triggering an explosion after breaking into the genius scientist's old lab, an event now termed the Nightmare of Baltimore. The cyborg chanced upon a second hidden lab containing blueprints for a vast array of weapons. Resolving to spend his time there and learn from Vegapunk's immense wealth of knowledge to support his captain's dream and return to the crew stronger than ever before he grew to respect the scientist, in spite of the former's allegiance to the world government. However, there is some doubt over this, by virtue of the scientist's connection to Dragon and the Revolutionary Army, which opens even more doors regarding his true beliefs and objectives. Even though he was confused at first on seeing Lilith, one of Vegapunk's copies, introduce herself as Vegapunk himself, Franky quickly began to proclaim his undying admiration for the world's smartest man, going so far as to call Vegapunk his idol. As a significant number of Franky's own bodily modifications along with the upgrades made to the Sunny post-time skip stem from the leaps of insight he gleaned from analyzing Vegapunk's work on Karakuri Island, meeting his hero in person is sure to awaken an even stronger desire in him to develop his skills to their limit, and perhaps even surpass his potential mentor one day. A whole new level of technology. There are few individuals in World of One Piece who can claim to understand the extent of Vegapunk's genius or even attempt to comprehend and recreate his work. As of the time of the Egghead Island arc, only Caesar Clown, Vinsmoke Judge, and Queen, all formerly part of the research group Mads alongside Vegapunk, are said to possess an intellect and level of scientific knowledge that could even hold a candle to the world's smartest man, and even they might not be able to compete with the latter in his current form. Said to be centuries ahead of its time but sadly still not on par with the advanced civilization of the Void Century, Vegapunk's creations represent the pinnacle of scientific achievement during the golden age of piracy as well as the new age that followed it. However, after the time skip, Franky now among the small number of scientists in the world of One Piece who can claim understand the inner workings of Vegapunk's inventions, on spending almost the entirety of his 2 years away from the crew engaged in breaking down and replicating the genius work. This is evidenced by his new cannon attacks, which resemble the pacifista's laser beams, in turn based on the light fruit abilities of Admiral Kizaru, alongside his upgraded artillery, and most notably, the General Franky mech suit, which was itself based on blueprints he found in the lab during the time skip. Furthermore, there is also a possibility that Franky might follow in Vegapunk's footsteps and make use of satellite bodies to increase his fighting capabilities along with his capacity to experiment and build upon his already awe-inspiring list of inventions. At this juncture in the story, the firepower boasted by his cola-powered armaments is fearsome, permitting him to dispatch most opponents with ease, with only Sasaki, one of the beast pirates Tobirapo, giving the cyborg any trouble during a fight. The thought of possible further enhancements provided either by Vegapunk himself or implemented by Franky after learning more from his idol, could make him even more of an invaluable asset to his crew, and by extension, one of the strongest pirates currently on the sea. Understanding the ancient weapons. During the Water 7 saga, when his character was first introduced, the ancient weapons, more specifically Pluton, was a major plot point in the story, stretching as far back as the Alabasta arc. With many parties including the likes of Crocodile, CP9, the Yonko, and even the higher-ups of the world government spreading out in search of this great battleship, the likes of which has not been seen since the time of the Void Century, it is likely to have a crucial role to play in the final act of the series. The only surviving blueprints for the weapon were revealed to to be in Franky's possession during the Enies lobby arc, having been entrusted with them by his mentor Tom, although he set fire to them in order to avoid surrendering them to Spandam and the Marines, taking his first steps towards becoming one of the Straw Hat Pirates. With the reveal of Shirahoshi as the current incarnation of Poseidon, there is only one ancient weapon whose form and capabilities are relatively unknown: Uranus. In addition to his revelations regarding the actual nature of devil fruits and the ancient kingdom from the Void Century, it is extremely likely that Vegapunk will have some knowledge about Uranus, as he is presently the only one in the world who is privy to the vast collection of knowledge from the library of Ohara, where the foremost scholars of the world were conducting an ill-fated inquiry into the Void Century. As the tides of time turn and spiral towards the great battle for the One Piece at the conclusion of this epic saga, it is fairly certain that the ancient weapons will have a part to play in this conflict. Whether that involves Franky upgrading the Thousand Sunny in the style of Pluton itself, or even utilizing the power of the other two weapons with the aid of Vegapunk, the latter's introduction could bring up more answers to questions that have plagued the fandom for well over a decade. One Piece. Why Op no Mi is called the ultimate devil fruit. Out of the three, Logia is considered to be the rarest, while Paramecia is the most common. Due to the sheer number of Paramecia-type devil fruits in One Piece, many of them are average and do not offer much in terms of offense. However, there are a few devil fruits in this category that hold the power to cause immense destruction, with some examples being the Gura Gura no Mi, Mochi Mochi no Mi, Opi Opi no Mi, etc. There has been a lot of discourse about the power of the Opi Opi no Mi and where it ranks in comparison to other devil fruits in One Piece. The power to heal anything. Currently, the Opi Opi no Mi is in the possession of Trafalgar Law, and before him, it belonged to an unknown doctor. Both Law and the previous user of the devil fruit have one thing in common: both are specialists when it comes to medical procedures. While it is unknown what the unknown doctor did with his powers, Law's feats are laid out nicely for the fans to see. As a kid, Trafalgar Law was infected with the fatal amber lead disease, which was considered incurable. No matter how many hospitals Corazon took him to, no doctor seemed to help. Things weren't looking good for Law, but Corazon wasn't ready to give up, so he decided to make one final attempt. Corazon used his powers to steal the Opi Opi no Mi from Diaz barrels and feed it to Law. Obviously, Law couldn't master his new abilities straight away, but with time he gained enough control to cure himself of the disease. As he grew up, Law's medical prowess improved, and his abilities came in clutch once again when he saved Luffy. Without the Opi Opi no Mi, it would have been impossible for Law to treat Luffy's injuries. Attacking prowess. Unlike most devil fruits, the Opi Opi no Mi has one major drawback: it drains the user's stamina after repeated usage. Although, considering the absurd powers that it grants, the stamina loss doesn't seem like a big trade-off. In the Wano Country arc, Law demonstrated the actual power of his devil fruit. Before the arc, Law did not get a fair chance to show off his abilities, but when the alliance was up against Big Mom, he was left with no other choice. Law's devil fruit allows him to create rooms, and whoever is trapped inside is at Law's mercy. Law can control any object and even swap places with it while a room is active, allowing him to catch his opponent off guard with a surprise attack. Law can also cut an opponent into multiple pieces without harming them. This can prove to be a useful ability, especially when he's trying to extort information. Gamma Knife, which is one of Law's signature moves, destroys the insides of the target, which can prove to be fatal. Devil Fruit Awakening. Trafalgar Law used his Devil Fruit Awakening against Big Mom. Law showed that he could create space-distorting essence, and he can add to his attacks to overwhelm his opponents. Instead of a huge room, Law employs a technique called K-Room and creates a small bubble that can be attached to his sword. This allows Law to effectively bypass the external defense of his target and hurt them from within. Another attack that Law can use is called Shock Will. In this attack, his sword phases through the body of a person and creates shockwaves from within. When used against Big Mom, Shock Will caused her to bleed from her mouth. Puncture Will is the more powerful variation of Shock Will, and Law used it to defeat Big Mom. The other notable abilities of his Devil Fruit are Re-Room and Silence. Re-Room can be attached to a target, and it will stick to them, expanding its size if necessary. Once a target is stuck inside a Re-Room, Law can use Silence to nullify the sound coming from the target. It is quite similar to Corazon's Nagi Nagi no Mi. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that the attack was Law's way of paying tribute to his savior, who died protecting him. The Ultimate Devil Fruit. The offensive abilities that Opi Opi no Mi grants are enough for it to be called the Ultimate Devil Fruit. However, the ability to grant another person immortality is what gave the fruit its name. The procedure is known as Immortality Operation, but it comes at the cost of the user's life. Doflamingo wanted Law to eat the Devil Fruit and perform the operation on him so that he could rule the world. Doflamingo also stated that if the Opi Opi no Mi is fused with the treasure of celestial dragons. Currently, there is no information on what treasure Doflamingo was talking about, but fans can expect this secret to be revealed down the line. Clearly, the OP no Mi is a strong devil fruit, and it will be interesting to see how far it can carry law. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.
道には困難がつきものだ。